Hi everyone, it's Nicole and I'm back with another layout. This is the fourth layout using the Marks & Company Studio Calico kit, and that was the August kit. I'm showing you some of the stuff I might be using. I'm going to use that last vellum pocket, that Amy Tangerine pattern paper, Studio Calico, My Mind's Eye, and I'm not going to end up using that pattern paper, and this is going to be my background, and it's the Dear Lizzie. And I'm trying to use more pattern papers as my background because I always get the add-on and the more pattern paper, and I was left with a lot of pattern papers at the end of the month, and where I'm moving on, with the next kit. I don't want to put these pattern papers in my stash because they're just going to stay there. So I just want to get them used up. Now I'm going to mat that photo with the yellow chevron. So it's just going to have a yellow border. And the chevron was yellow and white. So up close you can see the white. And then I'm going to take this pattern paper here and I'm going to double mat the photo. And I'm not taking my trimmer. I'm just using my scissors and just rough cutting it. I don't mind if it's, straight or not. And then I'm going to use that chalkboard paper from Studio Calico and I'm going to mount it again. And I'm going to make sure that you can see some of the writing. So I'm just going to cut around again just with my scissors. So I think I had 5 different full sheets of pattern papers that I took out for this layout and then some scraps too. And at first I think I'm going to put that yellow pattern paper with the white stars, vertically, but then I decided it's too the yellow is too overwhelming. It's taken up too much of the attention, I guess. So I'm going to move that. I'm going to try and use this cloud paper, but I decide against it because at this point then it would have stars and clouds, and I'm also going to have a heart. So there's too many different little themes going on. So I'm going to take the clouds away. I was trying to use that chalkboard frame, but I couldn't get it to work. And this is where I decide I'm going to use some of this chevron paper that I had used to mat the photo, and I'm just going to cut it down to about 5 inches, and then I'm going to cut, I don't want to waste it, so I'm going to cut about 3 inches, 4 inches strips, and I'm going to put it underneath that chalkboard paper, or what looks like chalkboard. So I'm going to put one at the top and one at the bottom. And I find now it takes less attention away from the photo. But if I put the yellow paper on either side of the photo, then I find it's a better balance, because when it was on top and the bottom, it just looked like it was taking away attention from the photo. But I'm going to put the yellow star on either side of it, and then I'm going to find it brings in the focus a little bit more. Still trying to use one of those frames, but I'm not going to use them. I was trying to use that leftover Dear Lizzie Polaroid frame that I had used on last layout, but I couldn't get it to work either. Now I believe I'm looking for some washi tape to use on the layout. I know I want to use some of these hearts that I had done with the washi tape on my last layout and cardstock, and then punched it out with my dies. I had a few left, so I wanted to make sure I use them. But in the end, I only end up using one of the hearts because I want to go more with the star theme on this layout instead of the hearts. And then I'm going to end up using something on this page that I believe it's been in my stash for, I'd say, close to 6, 7, maybe even longer. Oh yes, because I've been where I'm working now for 7 years, and I bought it before that. So I'd say it's like 9 or 10 years. So I'm really happy that I got to use some old stuff. And these are some of the new letters that I had bought from Simon Says Stamp. It's from the Daily Flash collection. And I'm also going to use those little basic gray, the little white ones that came in last month's kit. I barely didn't use them at all last month. So I found, an opportunity to use it on this layout. Now this is a picture of my grandson, and there's a big teddy bear behind him. And ever since he was just little, every time I hug him, I say, bear hug, and then I go, like a bear hug. And so now that he's getting older, he does the sound of a bear. So when I ask him, can you be a bear? And he growls like a bear. So that's because there was a little teddy bear in the background. That's the reason the title of this page is Can You Be a Bear? And I even have it on video. It's so cute. I ask him to be a bear and he growls. So I wanted to document that. And I'm on the tag that's going to be inside that vellum envelope. I'm going to document that he's doing this and that there's a video, that he can see that. And because you know what? It doesn't matter how much we say we're going to remember. There's so much stuff. Like I have 3 kids, and forever we always say, was that Jess, or was that Kate, or was that Josh that did that? So where it's going to be documented, then it's just going to be there and it's fresh. I'm so anxious because last week I went to my local photo developer and they just called and said it was ready. So tomorrow I'm going to go pick up 300 new pics, and I can't wait. I'm just in the mood for scrapbooking things that are now, because I've been scrapbooking a lot of, of our New York trip, and I did a few of our Quebec trip and a little bit of our Toronto trip, and I just want to scrapbook, the first time he ate solid foods, and those are all in there. So I want to go get those pictures and get scrapping with those. I can't wait. So I want to be picking those up tomorrow. So I'm going to put some yellow twine on that tag, and I'm going to put the title on that envelope. It's going to be on the envelope, and the top is going to be above that heart, and this blah. That's where I'm going to put Can You Be a, and then underneath the heart is going to be bear. And then I know I want to use some of those arrows, and I'm going to end up using one. And I think this is where I'm looking for some washi tape. So I'm going to pull out I have my washi tape all divided by color. And if you go back quite a ways back, I did a video, how I store my washi tape. So there's this one washi tape that we got in the kit, Studio Calico kit, a few months ago, and it just says smile, smile over and over again. So I'm going to use that washi. I almost used the whole roll, when it was for that kit. And I needed to put it away because it just seemed like I was putting it on every layout. But this layout, the yellow, was just the perfect yellow for this layout. So at one point, I'm just going to decide, okay, it's not overly embellished, this layout. I didn't want to over embellish it. I just wanted the focus, to be a lot on the photo. I did put some embellishments, and even though he's a little boy, you're going to see me pull out some flowers from my stash. And like I said, I haven't played with those or used them in a long time. And sometimes, like at this point, my brain was like tired. It was just fried. I didn't know, what to do next. So this is where I turned off the recorder and went to bed. Now the next morning when I get up, or the next time that I worked on it, then I was feeling refreshed, and I just knew, where to go from there. So I just took some more of that that paper that has all different colors. I cut a strip out of it and I punched the postage border from EK Success, and I'm going to put a border at the top and the bottom, you know, above the photo and below the photo. And it's just to add a little bit more color, because I wanted to not just do yellow, I wanted to do two colors. So I want to bring in yellow and like blue or aqua, because it is a baby page and it's also, you know, he's a boy. So I wanted to bring some blues, and even though he's a boy, I didn't mind bringing in some flowers because they are blue. I am going to use one of those hearts that I had die cut from the last layout, and I'm going to put it right in the center of that vellum pocket because it had a heart there, and I just want to put more emphasis on that heart, so I put another heart in the middle. And now I'm going to work on that title, and I'm going to put bear right in the center of that vellum pocket, but I'm going to end up moving it because of one of the embellishment is going to be bigger and it was covering part of that word, so I'm going to end up moving it just a little bit over. So now I feel good about, you know, how much stuff I have. So now I'm going to start gluing everything down, because after a while it's just kind of annoying to keep having to, you know, reshuffle everything where it needs to go. So at one point it's good to just say, okay, you know, when you're ready to put down those embellishments, it's time to put down your base coat, like your first coat. And a lot of these, you know, I cut them apart and separate them and trying to stretch my pattern paper as much as I can. It just seems that I like it when I get at least 20 pages per kit. I know it's a lot. Like it takes a long time. Like if I could whip out 20 pages in a week, I'd be happy. I just find that I stay on one kit for a long time. But by the time I get to 15, then it's almost like a challenge, you know, like what else can I do? And then usually when I really love the papers, that's the point that I really enjoy using the scraps anyway. So I actually find it harder at the beginning of a kit when there is no scraps. That's usually when I struggle, and it takes me longer to get layouts done. Like if you go back and you look at the different, how long each layout took me, the more I get to the end and it scraps, the layout seems to, you know, come together a whole lot faster. So now I'm going to add that washi tape. I'm going to put it in 4 little areas, just wherever there's that yellow star paper. If you hear some banging, we've had major storms for the last 2 weeks, and even one of them was a rainstorm, and it was freezing rain. So all the eaves of our house, it's just, there's like 2.5 feet of ice. So my husband went and got some salt, and he's salting the side of the house, like on the roof, and then trying to get that ice off before it, you know, it wrecks the side of the house. We've had, I mean, it's only December, you know, usually it doesn't start snowing till, if it does snow before Christmas, it goes away. But this year we must have 3 or 4 feet of snow already. And they're calling for another snowstorm in a couple of days. So, and then another one at the end of the week. So I don't know where we're going to put all this snow. But anyway, this is where I took out these flowers. And I think these were from Prima. And you used to be able to get them, and they had their own little jars. And like I said, I used to work in a craft store. So everything that she would order, I would like get everything. So I have tons of these flowers that I haven't used. So I was really happy to be able to use them on this layout. So I just kind of I want to bring in some aqua or teal because the background is aqua. And then I added some of that yellow in it. So I wanted 2 colors. And I didn't know if I wanted to put in those hearts or the flowers, only because, again, it's a boy page. I was like, do I really want to put flowers? But then I was like, nope, it looks really cute. They're blue flowers and they're going to stay. So now I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to put in the center of the flowers. And we had gotten some brads. It must have been 3 or 4 months ago in a Studio Calico kit. And it was those aqua and teal, aqua and tealish brads. So I'm going to put them in the center of each flower. And it does two things. It puts a center to the flower, and also keeps the flowers, because I have 2 flowers, one laid on top of the other, and it kind of cements them together. So I'm still trying to figure out if I'm going to use any of those arrows that I had bought from Freckled Fawn with my embellishment kit, because that yellow coordinated with the background paper and the washi tape really well, but I just couldn't get it to fit somewhere, so I'm going to go against it. And now I'm trying to figure out how I'm going to glue those flowers down, and I'm going to use some score tape. And basically score tape is the same thing as the red line tape, but you can cut it with your hands, which I absolutely love. One less thing that I have to take out my scissors for, the better. So I glued down that vellum pocket, and where that tag is going to be in front of it, most of the time I didn't mind. And actually where there is 2 layers of vellum, and the vellum is kind of has a pattern on it, you can't see the tape in behind anywhere. So this is where I moved the title over a little bit so that that flower could fit right there. And I believe now I'm looking for my score tape. I thought maybe some glue dots, but that wasn't going to work. That paper is really different for the flowers. So score tape, I find, is the best for that. And I didn't feel like putting a wet glue and that it would take a long time to dry. I just wanted to, get the elements down and just, get it together. So I'm going to make 3 little embellishment clusters, and like I said, it's not going to be heavy on embellishments. I didn't even put, where the flowers were so big, I didn't feel like it needed, because I always like to put some kind of a tag or a 3x4 card from, Project Life card or anything like that to ground the embellishment cluster. But I found that the flower was big enough to do that. Now I'm going to use some of these stars that came in my Freckled Fawn embellishment December kit, and also some of these little blings that came in the kit. And I only want to use 1 per cluster because I guess I want to, keep them so that I can use them on another layout. And we didn't get a ton of them in the kit, so I just want to make sure that, I get to use them quite a bit. So my husband came home yesterday and he had bought me a new camera. So yay! And with the Boxing Day sale, I actually got a better camera that I wanted, because I didn't want, because now there's Canon Rebel T4i and T5i, and I said no, I'll just take the T3i, and I'm fine with that, because I figured they'd be way cheaper. And he actually got the T4i for cheaper than the T3i, so I'm so happy. You're going to see the pictures at the end. They came out so good, not blurry anymore. I was just so sad because it was my grandson's first Christmas and the pictures are awful. Like I could cry because I couldn't take any pictures. I took a few with my iPhone, but my mom's house has so many windows. It was so bright that the camera was having hard on even on my phone was having a hard time focusing, so I didn't get too many pictures. I didn't even take any pictures of my kids opening their gifts. Not one. My daughter is 26, 20, and 14, and that's the first time ever I didn't even take one picture of them opening their gifts. So anyway, what's done is done. So I'm not going to dwell over it. And I think that's why my husband went right the very next, as soon as the stores open, he went and got me a camera because I was so sad about it. So I took one of those arrows and I put it right by the title, and that was also from a Freckled Fawn kit. No, actually that came in this month's kit, sorry, and the Studio Calico kit. And now I'm going to take some Glimmer Glaze in like a teal, and then a Mr. Huey in, it's called Sunset. No, it's called Desert. And then the Calico White. And I just covered my picture with, it's one of those cards that Simon Says Stamp sends you, and it says, $5 off whenever there's a sale. This one is a really old one, so the coupon is not good anymore, but I just kept it so I can cover when I only have a 4x6 card. And then I'm going to show you some close-ups. And then a few still pictures. And if you want to see more still pictures, you can go to Two Peas in a Bucket or Studio Calico in the Members Gallery, Nicole Jones 911. You can join me on Pinterest. The link is on my YouTube channel and also my Facebook group, and the link is in the description. So that's it. The page is done. So thanks for watching. Bye.